All right, Gemini, welcome to your weekly horoscope for February 22nd through the 28th. My name is Athen. So this week we've got a lot of aspects with Saturn, who recently, well, last year, towards the end of last year, went into your sixth house, okay, which has to do with your discipline, your routine, taking care of the day-to-day stuff, or overall self-improvement, or maybe some of you are developing your crafts at work or what have you. But in either case, nice positive energies from Saturn. They're helping you get disciplined and responsible with your diet or your routine or your craft. So that's going to be a strong emphasis this week when we have aspects up to Saturn. And this week also is the first quarter phase of the lunar cycle, so it's an active week. We want to move with the energies and move them forward. And a lot of this has to do with the new beginnings that took place in your ninth house, of expansion, of adventure, of your whole life path. You guys had a new moon there in your ninth house last week, and so these are the new beginnings that you are initiating and moving forward with. So on Sunday, coming out of last week, we still have Mars and Venus very close, okay, close by, and that's been in your 10th house. So there is this enjoyment of taking initiative and moving forward and putting positive energy into work, career, anything on the public sector. So those two planets still together this week. It's overall enjoying that initiative, enjoying the work, making connections at work, and just putting in that energy is going to be with you for at least the first half, but really for the whole week. Now on Monday, like I said, we have the first quarter phase, so that starts it very energetic. The moon's going to be in Aries there as well. And we also have the sun squaring up to Saturn. So this is the only, what you might call, challenging aspect of the week, which is, again, this Saturnian approach. So early in the week, maybe it's just taking this initiative, getting things moving here, maybe with the diet, with the health, the routine, whatever it is, but pushing through, it will be a good start of this week. And a lot of this does have to do with those new beginnings in those ninth house things, or a thing or a perspective that you've had recently about, life, the importance of life and vibrance and expression there. So yeah, put in the energy. Saturn is very powerful when we're stepping into the disciplined approach and taking that responsible approach. And so that's a good energy to work with this week for the first part of it. Now on Tuesday, this is when things lighten up. We've got Venus trining up to Saturn, and this is a nice positive energy of enjoying this, okay? It's an opportunity there. So I think then the routine and all this can start to flow, and there's going to be that harmony and peace that we can tap into of, again, enjoying that process. And I think all of that you're doing with the sixth house, with the health and stuff, or whatever it is, the craft, it's supporting these things you're doing with your work. This week with Venus there, and then also on Wednesday, Mars from your 10th house trines up to that Saturn in your 6th. So nice supportive energy, and I think it's just going to come from wanting to get that responsible stuff taken care of with the 6th house. Now also on Wednesday, we've got the Sun conjuncting up to Neptune, which is in that 9th house. So there's some spiritual stuff going on here with your overall life. Neptune's been transiting your 9th, showing you the importance of going with the flow. And now with the sun here illuminating this is a sort of selfless energy wanting to give and contribute to those around you. But in this case of your 9th house, I think maybe sharing wisdom, not preaching, but just, really listening to your higher guidance, I think, is just the big emphasis here. And then perhaps sharing that with others. But it's mostly internal here. You want to listen to the higher, you want to keep that crown chakra open, essentially, and be open to any intuition or guidance, especially with this involving your 9th house around Wednesday. But still, selfless energy, good compassion. I think maybe you can channel that into your work as well. Now, also on Wednesday, Mercury is going to be trining up to the North Node. So this whole middle part of the week is what we're talking about here. And so here's a clarity of your whole life path. You guys recently had Mercury retrograde in that 8th house. Perhaps you guys learned a lot about transparency, depth, honesty, truthfulness, sharing the truth, whatever it is for you. And so now channeling that, what you learned towards your life path, is definitely on the table this week. And this whole life path stuff has a lot to do with you connecting to your emotions, connecting to your home, family. You've had the North Node transiting your 4th, and that's going to be the overall theme this year, to put energy towards those types of things, establishing yourself, or perhaps getting connected to your roots. Now over the weekend, no aspects Friday and Saturday, but we do have the moon in your first house in Gemini. So this is actually a great weekend for you guys. Anything active, anything involving your goals, ambitions, but this is just a good time to go with the flow with whatever it is you enjoy, whatever it is you want to do. All right, Gemini, have a great week. Thank you again for all of your support. If you'd like a personal reading, you can click the link down in the description. I'm still offering the YouTube discount, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.